Hello friends, it's Christine Vicente with Queen City Stamp Art, and I'm back again today with another clean and simple card. This time I'm going to be featuring 3 different freebies from the Sale-A-Bration flyer, all on one card, so you can get an idea of how these products combine to create beautiful cards. So the first stamp set we're going to be using is the Island Vibes. This is such a fun stamp set. It has some tropical foliage, a nice pineapple, and then this really cute bonsai tree. And then we're also going to be using a little strip of paper from the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper pack. This is one of the neutral patterns on the back. And then we're also going to be using the Special Moments stamp set. Now this stamp set is free with a $100 order. You can get all these great sentiments to add to your cards. So this is a good one to have in your stash. We're going to start by using this basic white thick base card. This measures 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it down the middle at 5 1/2 inches. And now I'm just going to give it a nice crisp burnishing with that bone folder. We're going to use the base card. We're actually going to be stamping directly on the base card. So I took the leaves from that stamp set, that Island Vibes stamp set, and I'm going to be using some Granny Apple ink. And I'm just going to ink up these leaves and stamp them onto the base card right about here. And then we'll ink up and re-stamp over here like this. And don't worry about how that looks because we're going to be covering some of that up. Then we're going to take the strip of Designer Series paper and some adhesive. And we're just going to put a little adhesive on the back. And I'm going to line that up here, just straight across the bottom, like that. Then we're going to move on and stamp the pineapple using the Bumble Bee ink pad. This is such a beautiful, realistic pineapple. I love it. And I'm just going to stamp this a little bit off the side of the page. Whoops, just like that. I love how that looks. I think it looks so realistic. Very pretty. And then the last bit of stamping we'll do is for the sentiment. So we're going to take this little scrap of white, and I'm going to take one of the sentiments from the stamp set. And one of the other nice things about that Special Moments stamp set is that all of the images are photopolymer. So it makes it really easy to line your sentiment up onto your little panel. But in this case, we're actually going to be punching it out. So I'm just going to stamp a sentiment on here, like that. And then I'm going to take my tailored tag punch, which is this punch, and we're going to slide this into the punch. I'm just going to line that up like this, give it a squeeze. And now we have our sentiment panel. And now we're going to finish the card. So to embellish this card, I thought it would be nice to add some texture by wrapping a little twine around the edge. So I'm going to wrap it twice and tie a bow right on the very edge of the panel. This is the layer panel, the matte panel for the pineapple piece. And so we're just going to tie this right to the edge of this panel. Just like that. And you can make your bow as big or as small as you want. And then I'll take some snips here and snip it off like that. And then we'll layer this piece onto the actual card base. And so when we do this, you'll be able to see some of the leaves on the side sticking out. So I'm just going to layer this piece on and try and center it side to side and top to bottom, like that. Then we're going to add some dimensionals to this piece. So I have some mini dimensionals that I'm going to add to the back. And I want to make sure that I put the dimensionals in a place that won't interfere with this ribbon. So there's plenty of room to place the dimensionals so that they don't overlap and create all the bulk. I'm actually going to add a couple of other ones, probably 2 more right here. And then I'm just going to peel off the release papers here. And now we'll bring this in and add this to the card base. And I'm just going to center this panel right on the front. There we go. And then I'm also going to add some dimensionals to this little panel, and this is going to also pop up on the front of the card. Now, you could have created a sentiment panel out of a colored cardstock if you wanted to add a third color onto this card. That would be very pretty. You could also stamp it directly on the panel with the pineapple. You don't have to make it separate. But I think the extra layer and extra texture is a fun way to add interest to the card. But there's still lots of white space, which is why this would be considered clean and simple, even though there's quite a bit going on. So I hope you enjoyed the card for today. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like it. That really does help my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And I hope you got some fun ideas. You know, I think before I sign off, I think I may add some little embellishments. So I have these cute little adhesive back sequins that are part of the Artistry Blooms pack. So I think I'll add a couple of these and maybe a big one under here, just to add a little fun sparkle and a third color. So I hope you enjoyed the card for today, and I'll see you next week.